Okay, so rough draft of this book will be light about, or first draft. It's 103 pages on Word. So what's that? This is about, if we assume about a 4-to-1 for like a little book, that'd be 412 pages. So it's pretty long. I'm looking. Just this is like a request video for proofreaders, especially in regards to trimming, because I have a problem in that me writing this book, I've made all these arguments, and I have experience with people posting objections to all my arguments, and so I flesh out my arguments way more than the typical person would. When you talk to a person in your day-to-day life, you'll give a position, and they'll put out objections, and all you have to do is respond to those objections. What you don't have to do is you don't have to respond to every conceivable objection. And in this book, I was kind of responding, not every conceivable objection, but every conceivable reasonable objection, right? Or some maybe like 98% of objections. Right? I was, and not maybe 98%, but objections that I thought a reasonable person might level. Okay, now most people will only yield one or two objections to a proposition. However, if you get 100 people, you may get 20 objections to the proposition. If you get 1,000 people, you may get 40 objections, 10,000, 60 objections, right? The number of objections you get doesn't increase linearly with the number of people, since so many of the objections overlap. But as your audience grows, the number of objections is going to grow. You're not dealing with one person's objections, you're dealing with objections from a whole host of people, right? And so that's kind of what I'm thinking about with this book. However, I don't think I really have the ability to trim the book very effectively, because I am in too deep. My point of view is too... it's too in, right? Whereas I need someone who's out to tell me, this is too much, right? This verbosity here, not verbosity, but this, dealing with these kinds of objections is not necessary, or going into this detail is not necessary. We get it, right? We don't need that wrinkle. I can't do that, right? I think it's all valid and necessary and all that, but someone who's on the outside probably has a more realistic view than I do, right? And that's just a problem that people who get, too involved in something, their view of that thing becomes far more narrow, and quite frankly, far more anal retentive than someone on the outside. And so I'm asking for outside views, outsiders to tell me what to cut, because me being on the inside, I've rendered myself incapable of cutting. So, and I've revised. I haven't done a full proofread of this. I've proofread various sections. But I'm just wondering. I'm just putting a request out there for proofreading. For the proofreading, just send me a PM with the title "Book Correction." Right, if you think I should rewrite or reword certain segments. Also, and I'm not demanding this. I'm just putting this out there, kind of like, it would be really nice if some people could put up candidate flags for the Omni-Separatist Party. Also, name suggestions for the Omni-Separatist Party. I like Omni-Separatist Party. I like that word a lot, but if anyone can think of something better, that would be cool. Also, my voice is not very good. Now, if I were to do the audiobook of this book, I would know all the inflection points. I would know what to emphasize, and I would know I would be good at that on that level. But unfortunately, I am aware that my voice is grating. I am aware that I don't have the best voice in the world. I get that. I'm not right. So if someone who has a better voice, especially a female, because I know there are studies that have shown that people, even including females, listen to when females speak more than when males speak. And I'm wondering if this has to. I know, and I'm sure this is an evolutionary thing, but I'm wondering if this is because females speak less, and so when they speak, people be quiet. And from an evolutionary standpoint, females didn't speak as much, so when they did, it was more important. And so as a result, people, both male and female, listened more attentively when a female spoke. So that's my theory of it. Anyway, it doesn't matter why it is. Just as a matter of fact, it is that people listen more attentively when a female speaks. So, I'm looking for. I mean, and if there's no female who's willing to do this or is just so crappy at it that's not good, then that's fine. But I'm saying I'm looking for some other voice than mine, especially a female voice. Okay. Yeah, also artists and possible flags. Artists to illustrate points that were made in the book. It doesn't need to be good art at all. Like, it can just be like little scribbles. You can just do things in, little graphs even, to illustrate a concept would be fine. I'm not. I mean, I view anything I view this as like free stuff. So I'm not saying, oh, it's not up to Ryan Falk's rigorous artistic standards. Yeah. Also, I think I already said possible flags for the Omni-Separatist Party. So, I mean, party's got to have a logo, flag, and all that stuff. So, yeah, that was just the point of this book. Rough draft is out. Hopefully, the final draft will be done soon.